Close your eyes for just one moment. Before you press play for the rest of your day, before the noise gets loud again, before the world pulls you back into its rushing current, something stops you here. Not by accident. Not by some random algorithm or lucky swipe of a thumb. You were guided. Pulled gently like a thread being drawn through the eye of a needle, with precision, with purpose, with love that does not make mistakes. The heavens do not waste their movements. And today, on this exact day, at this exact hour, the stars above your life are not silent. They are speaking. They are burning with something urgent, something tender, something that has been waiting for the right moment to reach your ears and land inside your chest like a warm coal placed there by God Himself. Two people. Right now, as you watch this video, as you breathe in and breathe out, as your eyes move across these words, two people are having a conversation about you. Not a casual one. Not the kind of talk that floats on the surface and disappears. This conversation goes deep. It carries your name in its mouth like something sacred. It turns your face over in the mind of someone who cannot stop thinking about you no matter how many days pass, no matter how many distractions pile up around them, no matter how loudly the rest of their life calls for attention. You are on their mind. You are in their heart. And the stars, those ancient, faithful witnesses to every human love story that has ever been written, the stars know what is happening. They have always known. Stay with me today. Because what I am about to share with you is not a collection of pretty spiritual words wrapped up in comfort. This is a transmission. This is a message that has traveled from the highest places down through layers of light to reach you in this body, in this season, on this specific crossing point of your life. And if you have been waiting, if you have been wondering if love is real for you, if connection is still possible, if the person you have felt in your spirit is actually real, then everything you are about to hear is going to shatter the doubt like glass hit by a clear, clean bell. Subscribe to this channel, because this is only the beginning of what the angels want to say to you. Every week, this channel carries messages directly from the divine, messages about love, about purpose, about the timing of heaven, and the movement of souls toward each other across the distance of years and choices and pain. If you have not yet subscribed, do it now, so that when the next message comes through, and it will come, because heaven does not stop speaking, you will be the first one to receive it. Now, let us go deeper. There is a system written into the fabric of the universe. Not a system built by human hands or calculated by machines. A living, breathing architecture of energy and timing that was designed before your name was given to you, before your mother drew her first breath, before the earth was shaped into the spinning blue home you walk upon. The stars are part of that system. Not because they are gods. Not because they hold power over you. But because they are mirrors. Giant, ancient, radiant mirrors that reflect the patterns of the divine plan in language that has been read by the wise for longer than history has been written down. And right now, in the celestial map above your life, a formation is rising that speaks directly to you. Not to the crowd. Not to a type or a category or a zodiac group. To you, the one who has been carrying something heavy in your chest for longer than feels fair. The one who has loved and been left. The one who has prayed in the dark when no one else was watching, whispering the same words into the same ceiling night after night after night. Is anyone there? Is anyone coming? Am I going to be okay? The stars heard that. Heaven heard that. And the answer is coming to you now through this voice, through this message, through the deliberate, loving movement of the divine that placed this video in your path today. Two people are talking about you. Let me tell you who they are. The first person, this is someone who knows you. Not just as a face, not just as a name in a phone, but someone who has seen something real in you. Something that most people walk past, something that gets overlooked in the noise and speed of ordinary life, but this person stopped. They looked at you and they saw something the world has not yet properly celebrated. They saw the depth you carry. They saw the way you feel things more fully than others. They saw the quiet strength in the way you keep moving even when you are breaking. They saw the light in you that you yourself have forgotten was there. And now they cannot stop thinking about it. In their quiet moments, in the space between sleeping and waking, in the pause before they pick up their phone in the morning, in the middle of conversations about completely different things, you surface. Your energy surfaces. The memory of your voice, the shape of a moment you shared, the feeling of being near you that they have not been able to shake since. They are not just thinking of you casually. They are circling you in their mind, the way planets circle something they cannot escape the gravity of. Because you are not a casual presence. Your soul is not a small, forgettable thing. And the stars are confirming tonight that what this person feels is not nothing. It is not confusion. It is not a passing mood. What they feel for you has been building quietly for a long time. Like water finding its level underground, moving silently through stone, patient and certain, and headed somewhere real. And the second person. The second person is different. The second person is not someone who has been cautious or slow. The second person has known for a while. They have known with the kind of knowing that does not require analysis or reassurance. The kind of knowing that lives below the mind, in the body, in the bones, in the wordless certainty of a soul that recognizes another soul, the way you recognize a face before your brain can put a name to it. This person has been sitting with feelings for you that they do not yet know what to do with. Not because they do not care, but because they care too much. Because the idea of reaching for you and missing feels more frightening than the ache of saying nothing. Because somewhere deep in their history there is a wound that whispers, what if I am wrong? What if I am too much? What if they do not feel it back? And so they hold it. And they carry it. And they talk to someone they trust, maybe a friend, maybe someone who knows both of you, maybe just the night sky in the privacy of their own thoughts, and they say the truth they have not said to your face yet. That they want you. That they see you. That they wonder if you might be the one they have been looking for, without knowing what they was looking for. This is what the stars are reflecting back to the earth right now. This is not a fairy tale. This is not spiritual entertainment. This is the actual energetic reality of what is moving around your name in the invisible world that exists alongside the visible one. And you were led here today because it is time for you to know. Before I continue, and what comes next is the part that is going to change something in you, I need to know that you are staying. Subscribe to Angel Message from Heaven. Because the message I am about to deliver is one that requires you to be seated in your spirit. It requires you to breathe. It requires you to let the armor come down just far enough for the truth to get through. There are more messages coming this week. There are more messages coming this month. And if you are subscribed, if you have rung that bell, then every time the divine opens a channel and sends something through, you will be right there to receive it. Do not miss what heaven is preparing. Do not miss the full story of what the stars are writing in your name. Now let me tell you something about timing. Because I know that some of you watching this have been carrying an impatience that is dressed up as peace, but is not peace. It is that quiet, controlled desperation that looks calm on the outside, but inside is constantly asking, when, how much longer, why not yet? I see you. The stars see you. And what I want to speak to that place in you is something that requires honesty and requires love in equal measure. Divine timing is not delay. Say that again to yourself. Divine timing is not delay. It is not the universe forgetting you. It is not God being cruel or absent or indifferent to your longing. It is precision. It is the kind of precision that makes surgery possible, that makes a seed wait in cold ground until the exact temperature rises that will allow it to split open and become what it was always meant to be. What is being prepared for you could not have arrived earlier. Not because you were not ready, though there is some truth in that too, but because the other pieces were not yet in position. The person who is thinking about you right now had things to walk through first. They had rooms inside themselves that needed to be entered, examined, grieved, and released before they could come to you clean. Before they could come to you whole enough to receive what you carry without shattering from the weight of it. You are not a simple love story. You are not a quick fix for someone's loneliness. What is being built in the heavens around your life is something that requires a foundation strong enough to hold two full, complicated, real human beings without cracking under the pressure. And that takes time. Not forever, but time. And the stars are saying this clearly tonight, that the time is shortening. That the distance between where you are now and where this connection becomes visible and real in the physical world is not as long as it has felt from inside the waiting. Something is cracking open. Something that was sealed is beginning to unseal. And the two people who are talking about you right now, at least one of them is standing at a threshold. A decision is being formed in them that is going to require courage. Real courage. The kind that does not arrive with dramatic music or a clear sign from the sky. The kind that arrives in an ordinary moment, a Tuesday afternoon, a quiet Sunday evening, and simply asks, "Are you going to do this? Are you going to reach?" And the energy surrounding that moment is shifting. The celestial alignment that is present in this season of your life is creating what the mystics would call a portal of initiation. A window, not a permanent door left carelessly open, but a window with a specific width and a specific light that will shine through it for a specific amount of time. And what passes through that window can change the entire shape of your future. I want you to do something for me. I want you to think about someone right now. Not the one you are trying to convince yourself to move on from. Not the one who hurt you. I want you to think about the one who keeps appearing in the quiet. The one who you find yourself wondering about at strange times. The one whose name sometimes surfaces in your chest before it surfaces in your mind. That person, hold them gently in your awareness right now. Because there is something I want to say directly into the space between you and them. What you feel is not one-sided. It has never been one-sided. You have been told by circumstances, by silence, by the confusing and insufficient language of people who do not yet know how to speak what they feel, you have been told that what you sense is wrong. That you are imagining things. That you are projecting. That the connection you feel is just your longing taking the shape of something it wants to see. The angels say no. No, what you have been feeling is real information. The soul knows things the mind cannot yet confirm. The soul reads energy the way an eye reads light, automatically, without being asked to, without needing to explain itself. And your soul has been reading this person correctly. The thread between you is real. It has been real since before either of you had the language for it. And now the stars are moving into a position that is going to make what has been invisible begin to appear. The light is coming. Keep watching, because in a few minutes I am going to tell you exactly what the heavens are saying about what comes next in this connection, the specific energy of what is building, the obstacle that has been standing between you and this person that is now beginning to dissolve, and the sacred message that the divine specifically wants delivered to you about the love that has been prepared for your life. But first, if you are watching this and you have never found this channel before, let me tell you something. This channel was built as a vessel. It was built for people exactly like you, people who are spiritually awake enough to know that there is more happening around their life than what can be seen with the naked eye, but who are also tired of vague, empty comfort dressed up as spiritual guidance. What you receive here is specific. What you receive here is direct. What you receive here is sourced from a place of genuine communion with the divine intelligence that holds every name, every longing, every lost and searching soul in its vast and patient arms. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Because this message is one of many, and what is coming in the next videos on this channel is going to take you deeper into the understanding of your own divine assignment, your purpose, your connection, your calling, the life that heaven has been trying to hand you while you were standing just close enough to touch it, but not yet brave enough to take it fully. Now, let me speak to the wound. Because underneath the hopefulness, underneath the excitement that may be stirring in you right now as you hear these words, there is a wound. There is a place in you that has been here before. That has believed before. That has opened before and been handed something that looked like love, but turned out to be a lesson. And that place is not stupid. That place is not weak for being cautious now. That place is a guardian. And I am not asking you to silence it. I am asking you to let it hear this. What happened before was not the full story. The loves that broke you were not punishment. They were preparation. Each one of them, even the most painful one, especially the most painful one, was removing something from you that could not come with you into the real thing. An old belief. A pattern of choosing unavailability, because somewhere inside you felt that fully available love was either impossible or too exposing. A habit of shrinking yourself to make someone else comfortable in your presence. A fear of being truly seen that disguised itself as independence or self-sufficiency, or not needing anyone. These things were not your fault. They were written into you by early experiences that you did not choose. But they were also not your destiny. And the fires you have walked through, those relationships that ended in ash, those connections that promised everything and delivered confusion, they were burning those old patterns off of you. They were making you lighter, clearer, more truly yourself, more ready. And the version of you that exists right now, the one watching this video in this moment, this version of you is the closest you have ever been to being ready for what is real. The stars are confirming this. The angels are confirming this. You are not being asked to suffer more to earn what you desire. You are being asked to simply receive what has already been assigned to you. That is a different posture than waiting. Waiting is passive. Receiving is active. Receiving means standing in your life with your hands open and your heart not fully clenched around the fear of disappointment. Receiving means being willing to believe that the next knock on the door of your life could actually be what you have been asking for. Receiving means choosing, deliberately, day after day, not to let the wounds from the past write the story of the future. That is the spiritual practice being asked of you right now. Not a grand gesture. Not a dramatic release ceremony. Just this. Trust a little more than yesterday. Open a fraction wider than you have been. Let the possibility that love is coming for you exist in your body, not just as a thought, but as a physical sensation. Warmth, expansion, the quiet readiness of a field in early spring that has been frozen and is now beginning to soften. Because the stars are watching that softening. Because the two people who are talking about you are being drawn toward the opening in your energy. Not the closed, defended version of you. The open one. The trusting one. The one who is watching this video right now and allowing themselves, maybe for the first time in a while, to actually believe. That is the one they are being pulled toward. Now let me tell you about the celestial pattern specifically. I want to speak about what the stars are doing in this precise window of time around the energy of your love life and your connections. There is a gathering happening. When I say gathering, I mean a convergence of energies that individually are powerful, but together form something that cannot be ignored. You have been in a period of what could be called a sacred contraction. A drawing inward. A season where things that once occupied the outer areas of your life, distractions, connections that were not aligned, noise, began to fall away. Some of that falling away was painful. Some of it felt like loss when it was actually a gift in the shape of loss. But the contraction is completing. And what follows a contraction in the divine pattern is always an expansion. Always. The breath does not stay held. The fist does not stay closed. The seed does not stay sealed underground forever. The expansion is coming for you now. And with it, in it, through it, a connection. A real one. One that does not require you to manage yourself down or turn yourself sideways to fit into someone else's comfort zone. A connection that has been shaped specifically and precisely to meet the actual contours of who you are. Not who you were performing yourself to be. Not the version of you that learned to make themselves smaller to keep the peace. But the full version. The real one. The one that God made on purpose. The one that was never a mistake. The stars say that the person who is thinking about you is being prepared right now to show up in a way that matches that. To show up without pretense. Without strategy. without the careful social performance that most human connection gets filtered through. They are being prepared to be real with you. And the timing of that preparation is accelerating. Something in their inner world shifted recently. A conversation they had. A quiet moment of clarity that arrived, unbidden the way real revelations always do, not when invited, but when the soul is finally still enough to hear what it has been needing to say. In that moment, they saw you differently. Or more accurately, they saw themselves differently in relation to you. They saw the possibility not as something terrifying, but as something that might actually be worth the risk. And that shift, that small, quiet inner shift in another person, is what the stars are tracking right now. That is what heaven is watching with care and anticipation. Because when two people who have been orbiting each other both arrive at openness at the same time, even in small measures, even imperfectly, that is when the divine can work. That is when the intervention of grace becomes possible. That is when a Tuesday afternoon, or a quiet Sunday evening, or a seemingly unremarkable moment can become the moment that divides a life into before and after. And for you, that moment is closer than it has ever been. Stay with me. Because we are not done. I want to speak now about what you need to do with this information. Because divine messages are not passive. They are not comfort blankets. They are not permission to sit back and wait for the universe to deliver while you do nothing. Heaven moves through human hands. Heaven moves through human choices. Heaven moves through the decision that you make right now, tonight, this week, about whether you are going to step more fully into your own life or continue holding yourself at a careful distance from your own desires. The stars are not telling you to chase this person. The angels are not telling you to force this connection. What you are being called to do is something more internal and more powerful. You are being called to align. To become, in your daily choices, in the way you speak to yourself, in what you allow in your space and what you release, the version of yourself that is fully ready to receive what the divine has assigned to you. Because here is the spiritual law that the angels want to make plain. You cannot receive at a level you are not vibrating at. Not because the universe is punishing you for low vibrations, but because love, true love, the kind that holds, is a frequency. And it can only land in a field that is resonating at the same frequency. When you are carrying grief that you have not yet released, when you are holding anger that has become so familiar it feels like personality, when you are still living in the story of the one who left or the one who did not choose you, you are broadcasting at a frequency that matches those old experiences, not the new one. The new one requires something different from you. Not perfection, not having everything figured out, but a willingness, a daily, deliberate, sometimes uncomfortable willingness to turn your face toward the life that is possible instead of the wounds that are familiar. That is the practice. That is the path. And on that path, the connection that is moving toward you will become visible. Will become real. Will arrive. There is one more thing I need to say before this message closes. And this one is for the person who has been wondering if they are too far gone. If they have waited too long, if they have done too much damage to their own hope, if the window they needed to step through has already closed behind them. I am speaking directly to you now. It has not closed. Let me say that with the full weight of everything I am and everything this channel carries. It has not closed. The divine does not abandon its assignments. The love that was written for you was not written in pencil that can be erased by your fear or your delay or your mistakes. It was written in something permanent. In something that does not expire. And the fact that you are here, watching this, feeling what you are feeling right now as these words move through you, that is not coincidence. That is confirmation. That is heaven saying, still here, still yours, still coming. You did not miss it. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too much or too little or too damaged or too guarded or too anything. You are exactly, precisely, divinely on time for what is yours. The stars confirm it. The angels confirm it. And this message, traveling through whatever strange and beautiful distance it needed to travel to reach you today, This message confirms it. Let yourself believe that. Even if only for a moment. Even if the walls go back up tomorrow. Let tonight be the night you allowed yourself to believe that the love story of your life is not over before it has properly begun. That what two people are secretly saying about you right now is the beginning of something you have not yet had words for. That the stars, those ancient, faithful, burning witnesses, are not neutral spectators. They are cheering for you. Heaven is cheering for you. And the voice that has spoken to you today through this video, through this channel, through the simple and staggering miracle of one soul being led to hear something it desperately needed to hear. That voice is not leaving. Come back. Subscribe if you have not yet. Leave a comment below and tell me, what did you feel when you heard this message? What stirred in you? What part of your chest opened just a little? Because I read those comments. Because they matter. Because every person who arrives at this channel arrives for a reason and deserves to be seen and acknowledged. The next video is already coming. And it is going to go even deeper into the specific divine union that heaven has been preparing for you, the one that the angels want to describe in detail, the one written in the stars before you were born into this body, the one that is going to make every heartbreak you have survived finally make sense. Do not miss it. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. And tell someone you love about this channel. Because the messages that travel through here are meant to reach everyone they are meant to reach. You were one of them today. And I am so grateful you were here. Go now in the certainty that you are loved, not earned, not conditional, not small. Profoundly, permanently, cosmically loved. The stars know your name. Heaven knows your name. And the story that is being written for your life is more beautiful than anything you have yet been able to imagine. It is coming. It is already on its way. And you are ready. Go.